Hi viewers, welcome to our 10th episode of Mind Your Mind series. I hope you all have watched the previous episode on depression last week. If not, please go watch it because today's episode is kind of a part of the previous episode on depression. And with the ongoing COVID-19 crisis, depression and rise in the number of suicides, I strongly felt that I must dedicate an entire episode on suicide. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss some of the common reasons why people commit suicide, the myths linked to suicide, how to identify people with suicidal behavior or suicidal ideas, and lastly, how to prevent suicides. The origin of the word suicide was back in the year 1651, and in Latin, sui means one's own and side means one who kills. So suicide, one who kills oneself. In my last video, I had mentioned that every year around 8 lakh suicides occur globally, and India contributes to about 25% of this number, which means 2.2 lakh Indians commit suicide every year. And just in the last couple of months during lockdown, out of the 300 plus number of non-COVID deaths, believe it or not, suicide was on top of the list. So now you know the extent of the problem. So coming to the risk factors for suicide, one of the first and the foremost risk factor is a past history of attempt to suicide. Other risk factors could be a family history or a history of abuse as a child, history of any mental illness, be it depression or psychotic illness where the voices command the person to commit suicide, or a history of alcohol or any other substance abuse, and isolation, like cut off from the society, family and friends, where the individual has a feeling of hopelessness. Another important risk factor is loss. The loss could be either financial, which is also the most common cause of suicide in our country. Other terms of loss such as relationship, maybe a love failure or divorce. These are all the factors that amount to suicidal ideas in a person. Next, moving on to some of the myths of suicide, and I would like to use a document given by World Health Organization, WHO, and this is only for educative purpose, so I hope there won't be any copyright issues. So let's go through this. So the first myth: once someone is suicidal, he or she always remains suicidal. The fact is, heightened suicide risk is often short-term and situation-specific. While the suicidal thoughts may return, they are not permanent, and an individual with previously suicidal thoughts and attempts can go on to live a long life. Myth number 2. Talking about suicide is a bad idea and can be interpreted as encouragement. Definitely not. Given the widespread stigma around suicide, most people who are contemplating suicide do not know how to speak to. Rather than encouraging suicidal behavior, talking openly can give an individual other options or the time to rethink his or her decision, thereby preventing suicide. Myth number 3. Only people with mental disorders are suicidal. The fact is, suicidal behavior indicates deep unhappiness but not necessarily mental disorder. Many people living with mental disorders are not affected by suicidal behavior, and not all people who take their own lives have a mental disorder. Myth number 4. Most suicides happen suddenly without warning. But the fact is, majority of suicides have been preceded by warning signs, whether verbal or behavioral. Of course, there are some suicides that occur without warning, but it is important to understand that what the warning signs are and look out for them. Myth number 5. Someone who is suicidal is determined to die. The fact is, suicidal people are often ambivalent about living or dying. Someone may act impulsively by drinking pesticides, for instance, and die a few days later, even though they would have liked to live on. Access to emotional support at the right time can prevent suicide. Myth number 6: people who talk about suicide do not mean to do it. Where the fact is, people who talk about suicide may be reaching out for help or support. A significant number of people contemplating suicide are experiencing anxiety, depression, and hopelessness and may feel that there is no other option. Now, how to identify if a person is suicidal or has suicidal ideas? Uh, Identifying a person who has suicidal behavior is not easy unless and until the person is vocal about it. Check on him if he or she has depressive symptoms, or there's any history of drug abuse. Also, in this times of social media era, if you find somebody who's constantly posting certain things related to depression, such as maybe a depressive quote, or constantly updating status or along the lines of negativity, then you reach out to him, talk to him or her, and find out if the person is actually suffering from depression. There is no foolproof method to find out if a person is suicidal. Suicides may happen even after taking all sorts of precautions. Coming to the last part of today's episode, that is preventive or the protective factors. First and foremost is a good family support. It's nothing much. All that is required is to just talk to your family members, maybe during dinner time, or some other time when you just gather together and just share what happened in your day. How do you feel, etc., rather than just texting good morning or good night on your family group on WhatsApp. Second is social support. Now, when I talk about social support, again, I'll be jumping on to stigma, because stigma is one of the biggest barriers for a person with depression and suicidal ideas to come out and speak about his feelings. Having said that, I'd like to mention this point, that attempt to suicide has been decriminalized as per the Mental Health Care Act 2017, which means that attempt to suicide is no more a criminal offense. I'm not saying that to encourage more suicides, but the people should know that coming out and expressing their views on suicide, even if they had past attempts of suicide, is no more an offense, and it is treated as it's assumed that the person had a mental stressor. The third point is timely approach to mental health services. Whether a person is feeling low of late, or not able to sleep, extremely tensed, and feeling frustrated and wants to seek help, please identify such persons and bring them to the mental health professional, maybe a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and if they need medications, it can be done right away. The fourth point is coping skills. In India, we compare a lot with each other, and it starts from LKG. It's kind of induced to children. Rakesh, you just scored 98, whereas Vishnu scored 99. It starts right from there and builds up to, like, my neighbor drives Hyundai Creta. I'm still driving a Hyundai i20. So this kind of competition leads to a lot of built-in frustration and disappointment. So stop comparing ourselves with each other. Adapt healthy coping mechanisms, healthy coping skills, so that it kind of makes you less disappointed. Lastly, if you identify a person with suicidal ideas or suicidal behavior, reduce the access of such a person to lethal means, maybe a knife, maybe a rope, etc. I hope this video was informative, and if you have any queries, you can always direct message me on Instagram. Please like, share and subscribe, and forward it to as many people as possible so that they can benefit from these points. Thank you for watching.